Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about feminism and business. Mainly we are going to talk about feminist theories affecting business. We are going through several aspects of this. First, we are going to have a brief introduction to feminist and feminism, and then we'll talk about the perception of people in society in history. And we'll also compare different types of women, also compare male versus female. We'll talk about the organization benefits for both men and women, and then we'll go through several problems that can happen in the workplace. Since there are problems and people are going to solve it, so we are going to talk about the harassment protections, and then we're going to talk the benefits of women in the workplace. At last, we'll go through some of the problems that might happen with the successful women. First, let's go through the brief introduction to feminist. What is feminism or what is feminist? According to its definition, that's the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economical equality to men. So where does it come from? The word feminism originated in 1892 at the First International Women Conference. And how does it affect people? The women's suffrage movement and its primary founder, Susan B. Anthony, had a noble aim and achieved much to give women their proper political and social respect. So what are the contributing factors that made feminist? As far as I can see, there are basically two factors. The first is the social factors, which is the male-dominated society or the male-driven society. In this society, women have little say, or they can do little decisions and are considered as less superior than men. And that is the oppression of men in this society. So in this society, women are striving hard to be empowered and to achieve full potential. They are also striving to get the rights they owned. And the second factor is due to the Industrial Revolution and the coming of the information age. Although during the Industrial Revolution, the mentality of women is still basically to go in their homes and take care of the kids and the family, but after the Industrial Revolution and more afterwards to the coming of the information age, people are less and less depend on the physical labor and are more and more intelligence have the comparison of the intelligence. That gives the woman the right and the chance to work in the working field. And these can trace back into the history. So now let's go through the perception of people in society in history. Back in ancient times, in the perspective of history, men are seen as hunters and breadwinners because they hunt and take back food for the family, while women, they take care of the house and the children and gather food. Back in those times, women are seen as lesser than men and also weaker than men, and someone who stays in the home with kids and need help. And since the evolution of the state level of government, and that has been more and more men in charge than women, so people are gathering together to make a mutual surviving. At that time, it's men that dominating this world, and men taking charge, but not the women. So before the Industrial Revolution, it's basically men taking charge of this society and have the dominant status. Well, after that, still, although during the Industrial Revolution, women are still not very actively seeking jobs, but as time goes on, there are more and more jobs that designed especially for women that they are capable and can compete with men and do those kind of jobs better than men, and which gives them opportunities to go into the workforce. Also, as when they are having higher and better education, they are more and more intelligent with the kind of work that is not only designed for physical labor, they can show their competitiveness in those kind of work, so that they can be more and more approval in this society. And in this society, it's more and more of an intelligence competition, which gives women the opportunity to compete in this society. While we are going through the general aspects in society, now we can talk about the different types of women in the working field. There are many types of different women in the working place. Some of the women, they like to help and they are glad to be led. They are very friendly and helpful, while there are other women who are trying to prove themselves above their male counterparts. They are willing to show their ability and they are willing to prove themselves doing as good as men does. These types of women, they are strong and independent. They are willing to face the challenges and also overcome whatever difficulties they are facing. Those kind of women, they have all kinds of difficulties in their life, but they also have the strength to overcome all that kinds of difficulties, which will shape them into the future good leaders. And now let's talk about something about male versus female. In this society, male are seen as more providers and stronger than female, while female are seen more as people who need to stay at home and help with the family, and the ones who are weaker and needs help. Although male and female, their status are becoming more and more equal, but as this society is still a male-dominated society, so male are still viewed as superior than women. Because of the way society sees male and female, male get paid more and also have better job opportunities than female. This problem is a worldwide problem, and also from my personal experience in China, male are also paid more than female and also getting better and good job opportunities than female. And in the research, even in the part-time jobs, women are paid less than male counterparts. As time goes on, there are types of organizations established that will benefit for both men and women. For example, the unions, which is in the workplace, there are different things that people can join for protection. But as a matter of fact, even in the unions, it is still basically male-dominated. And the fact remains, however, that women have organized less frequently than men. By the mid-1970s, there are only 12% of working women who are unionized. There are also some problems that can happen in the workplace. Women can get harassed by co-workers and non-employees from lack of respect. And sexual harassments conducted can be either by a supervisor with immediate or higher authority over the employees. Well, besides the sexual harassment, there are also types of phenomena like the glass ceiling, which is the working places where women can't get ahead no matter how hard they are working. In the working place, for the glass ceiling phenomenon, male-dominated and the male authorities, they will do everything they can to prevent women from getting to their positions. To solve these problems, we have laws to protect against the work discrimination related to the gender, and also we have the sexual harassment protections. There are laws in place to protect people from harassment, and it is the United States Supreme Court decision issued in 1998. When women are more and more involved in the working place, there are several benefits. For the first one, because women and men see this world in a different way. Normally, male is considered as more rational and straightforward thinking, and sometimes this will lead to less creative. But for female, they normally seen as more emotional, and they are good at connecting things to each other. And this can make them be more creative and have more creative ideas. Men can be creative, but as the way women are seeing this world and connecting to the things with each other, they can be more creative. And as female more and more get in the workplace, there is a lot less thought of a boys' club mentality, which means they basically think men are more superior than women. This kind of thought will become less and less as women prove themselves in the working place that they also have the capability to do as better as men does. And also, with more and more women going to the working place and support the family together with the men, this will be an inspiration for the kids when they see their moms and the women are doing their best in the working place. It will inspire them to also doing their best in their life and reach their potential, find their own genius. They can get better in getting the higher education and also get what they are good at in their lives and working hard as the same as the woman in their life does. Well, there are also some problems that might happen with the successful women. Women can do better in a chosen job than the men. In some certain kind of jobs, they can do better than the men, which will make men feel threatened or feel jealous about that. And they tend to push women away in that kind of situation. Well, if a male fails to do that, he will be set into a vicious cycle, which he will feel hurt in his ego, that he will find hard to trace back to what he was in the past and try to find what he's good at and keep working on, bringing back of himself to a better future. And he can be closed-minded, and this will again bring him into the vicious cycle. It is shown that women who succeeded in the jobs dominated by men are not surprisingly often try to be successful by distancing themselves from other women. Since in that kind of working atmosphere, men are still seen as superior than women. So if the women want to be successful, they want to distance themselves from the other women in order to prove themselves that they are independent as guys, as men, and they are more capable of their work. They are showing themselves successful in this way, which is not a really right thing to do. In conclusion, feminist theories and feminism, as women getting more and more into the business field, it helps the equality of the society, and it also changes the way society is considering things. As women pay more attention to communicating and also be more peaceful to this world. The feminist theories and feminism can bring more emotional needs to care about their co-workers and the people inside the business. Although the society is not totally equal right now, but it is undoubtedly a future trend which will bring the society into a better place, that every people is equal and have the same opportunity to have their full potential in life and doing their best, which will contribute to a better future for the society. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope this will help you gather some more information on feminist and feminism.